Number 6. We're getting to the top 5. Number 6 is Aguirre, The Wrath of God. And this is the last Coast Kinsley collaboration that's on my list. And it is the best, in my opinion. Like I said, Fitzcaralldo is his greatest achievement, but in terms of preference, Aguirre was my favorite. And it's just a stunning piece of filmmaking. And it brings Coast Kinsley to the jungle yet again. And it's just wonderful to watch these characters on a raft, which is the majority of the film takes place on this raft going through a river in the jungle, and just seeing them, all of the acting is fabulous in that film. It has lots of weird Herzogian twists, like a talking beheaded head, which was an interesting bit of black humor in a film that almost seemed humorless. Anyways, once again, we're in the top 10. These films are all highly recommended, must-watch Werner Herzog films if you like Herzog, and if you like films. I'm even gonna go there. If you like films, these are must-watch films. And now, into the top 5, we have Signs of Life. This was Werner Herzog's underrated, underwatched, overlooked debut film, and it really established a lot of what his films were gonna be like, and it kind of showed his growth over the years. And this film is about a character named Stroszek, which has no relation to his film Stroszek, who pretty much goes crazy. And it's kind of interesting how his most recent film, My Son, What Have You Done, is almost like, thematically, is very similar to Signs of Life, where the crazy person, the narrator, goes insane and ends up being pretty much taking a building hostage, and people are trying to get him out of the building. In My Son, What Have You Done, I believe it was his house or his mother's house, and in Signs of Life, it's this big fort, and the police are trying to get him out of the fort, but he's doing all these insane things, and he's being very unpredictable, and they're afraid. And now that I think about it, it actually has lots of similarities, the two films. But Signs of Life, I believe, is the greater success, in my opinion. It's just stunning to watch, and very interesting to see the origins of a great director. Number 4. This is kind of controversial choice to put so high up on the list, but I thought this movie was genius. It's, well, yeah, genius. This is Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. And this is also another movie that's spectacular to watch. Really, when you think of this movie, think of a screenwriter who has previously written for Law and Order and normal American serialized crime dramas, in a wrestling match with Nicolas Cage's improvs and Werner Herzog's crazy craziness. His obsession with nature that comes out of nowhere, and you pretty much get this film that feels as if it wants to be normal, but never actually is.
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
There ain't no iguana.
Yeah, there are.
There ain't no iguana.
That's why I think a lot of people think it's bad, but it's actually one of Herzog's greatest American films, in my opinion, and it's a great satire on the American crime drama, as is My Son, What Have You Done? And it's just, Nicolas Cage is a great actor. Herzog considers him the best of the best, and he kind of gets a bad rap because he's an eccentric actor and he's always cast in these over-the-top roles. And yes, he is cast in a lot of bad movies, like the remake of The Wicker Man. But, and that also gives this film another reason why you should watch it, because it has Nicolas Cage doing some of his craziest, most eccentric acting ever, and it's just brilliant to behold. Number 3, Stroszek. This was the other film that Werner Herzog made with Bruno S. If you remember, the film that I talked about before was The Enigma of Kaspar Hauser, and the first half of this film is almost like the biography of Bruno S. And this is a beautiful film. Like I said, Werner Herzog films are beautiful, and it's a funny film. It has lots of dark comedy, and it's a nice companion to The Enigma of Kaspar Hauser, where it's kind of parallels, because in Kaspar Hauser we have Bruno S. in a box, and then he comes out into the real world in, I believe, set in Germany. And in Stroszek we have Bruno S. again in Germany, but he's almost like caged in. He actually gets out of jail at the beginning of this movie, another parallel, but he feels caged in once again while he's out of jail, because he starts getting harassed by these criminals. And so he moves to America, which is similar to Kaspar Hauser moving out of his cellar. And when he moves to America, he actually feels as if he was better off in his box once again, because in America they don't, I'm gonna use a quote from the movie here. When Bruno Stroszek's, that's the character's name, girlfriend says, "No one kicks you here, Bruno," to him when he's lamenting his stay in America. Bruno replies, "Not physically. Here they do it spiritually." And this is a brilliant deconstruction of the American dream, which has been shown time and time again in both American literature and cinema and foreign cinema. And it's Sorry about that. It's Werner Herzog does great things with this film, and it's funny in a dark humor sort of way. And the ending is one of the best endings in a Herzog film, and one of the greatest moments in a Herzog film, and I would recommend that you watch this film before watching The Bad Lieutenant, as that will probably make watching The Bad Lieutenant an even better experience, because The Bad Lieutenant actually references this film in a great way, and those two films are actually very similar as well, and have many parallels between them.